My presence might have stopped a kidnapping. I think about this a lot, and I truly think I might have stopped a kidnapping just by being in a parked car. My ex-boyfriend lived with me for over a year, and there was a period of time where his truck was acting up, so I would pick him up from work. He worked just down the road from my place. Not our place, just mine, at a liquor store, so he'd get out around 10 p.m. on weeknights. So one night he asks me to pick him up and I agree. I get all swaddled in my pajamas and drive down to grumpily wait for him. Since my bedtime was 10 p.m. due to my job, I parked my car in the small parking lot out front. His liquor store is sandwiched between a sex shop and a head shop, Party Central I guess. By now the head shop and liquor store are closed, so their 3 RDS of the lot are mostly empty. The sex shop only had one other car in front of it. Outside the liquor store is my car, and one other, 3 total cars, with a woman standing outside of it, sitting on her hood. I don't think much of it. Maybe she's waiting for someone in the sex shop or one of my ex's co-workers and just relaxing in the summer night air. I sit hunched in my seat, car off, playing on my phone. I notice a white van. I know, cliched, but that's why I noticed it. Pull into the lot. It drives through slowly, then back out onto the main road. Weird, but maybe they wanted alcohol and saw the store was closed. Whatever, I go back to my phone, but I glance at the woman. Still outside her car, but moved between my car and hers. I had parked a couple spots over, so close but not too close. I go back to my phone. The same white van pulls in again and stops in front of her. I sit up slightly to watch. I'm a true crime nut. What can I say? I'm easily alerted, and watch some guy roll down the van window and lean out to talk to the woman. I pull out my phone to snap a photo of the license plate, again, just in case, but I can't see it. So I turn on my car and go to open the door, but the guy in the van instantly pulls away and leaves. The woman moves closer to my car as I get out and approach her, ask her what was that, and she says she doesn't know. He was trying to ask her for directions but stopped mid-sentence when I turned on my car. I ask her if she's waiting for anyone and she says kinda. She's been sitting outside the liquor store for 3 hours waiting on a tow truck because she locked her keys inside her car, and she couldn't leave the car because her puppy was in the back seat. Thankfully not a hot night, very nice night, so she was waiting for a tow truck. As her and I are talking, my ex comes out and asks what's up, so we decide to help her since there was no freaking way I was leaving her alone now. I have some rope in my car for emergencies and my ex uses it to basically jimmy her door open, make a lasso, and hook it around her door lock and pull it up to unlock it. It works and we open the door just as the tow truck pulls in. Her puppy is safe, we wish her well, and I get back in the car and just tell my ex. I think I almost watched her get kidnapped.
Guy at the pool. Sorry for the formatting, I'm immobile. Back in 2015 when I was 15 years old, my sister and I had gone to the pool because it was hot out, and swimming is a great way to cool down and have fun. We were swimming in the deep end and I eventually just sat on the ledge cause I was getting tired after a while and wanted to sit outside the water. We were talking and watching people jump off the rope, swing and whatnot, and some guy did a flip, so we told him it looked cool, not to start a conversation or anything, it was just a cool flip. He decided to strike up a conversation after a few minutes of swimming around and I was too polite to dip out immediately. Dude starts obviously flirting, which I was dodging with small talk to the best of my ability until he asked my age and I said I was 15. He looks me up and down and said, "Man, you're like jailbait, I'm 25. And still proceeded to continue hitting on me. Thankfully the swim time was over a few minutes later. He gave me his Facebook and I did not add him for obvious reasons. Overall very uncomfortable encounter. I just thought your flip was cool. I don't want to sleep with you, dude."
I was fearing for my life. A few years ago, I was staying in a family resort in Turkey with my parents and sister. I was 17 then. One night, after we had finished dinner, I wanted to go upstairs to our hotel room to get my jacket. The guy that entered the elevator with me was already giving me weird vibes, but I shook it off. He got off the same floor as me and also followed me down the path to our room. I eventually started running because I felt so uneasy and he was getting so close. I reached our room and thought that was it, just a weird encounter. I had sufficiently calmed down and was going to leave when our hotel room's phone rang. I picked up, assuming my parents had made a call from the reception, but instead, it was a male voice telling me how sexy I looked and how much he wanted me. I hung up immediately and started crying. That dude had been close enough to see which room I had entered to be able to make that call. The phone rang a few times more, but I refused to pick up. I must have been in our room for a long time because my parents had gotten worried and had come upstairs to check on me. I explained what had happened, and when the phone rang once again, my father picked up. There was silence on the other side and the call was quickly ended. I was terrified that I'd see the man again, but weirdly, I didn't. I kept looking out for him at the pool, the restaurant, etc., but I never saw him again. My parents told me to brush it off, that such creeps are everywhere, but it shook me to my core. I was horrified about what may have happened if I hadn't started running. To this day I hate walking down long hotel floors on my own, it just fills me with dread.